Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we are looking at something that is now quite old and has become, well, the whole set of these has become very, very collectible indeed and are now becoming quite difficult to find. We are looking at the 1994 release by Thinkway Toys from their Star Trek The Next Generation series of collector series saving banks. And this particular one we're looking at today is of the Klingon, and it's of the Klingon based on the character that appeared in Star Trek The Next Generation, or the characters that appeared in Star Trek The Next Generation. Now, as you know, Star Trek The Next Generation was a hugely popular series in the late 80s and early 90s. It ran for 7 seasons. They made 178 episodes over a 7 season period. And the first episode aired in September 1987. And the last episode aired in May 1994. And then after that, The Next Generation then went into the movies, and the next movie was called First Contact. Was called Generations, and then which tied in the original series with Star Trek Next Generation. And then after that, Next Generation went on to their first movie, first real movie that was just the Next Generation crew, which was First Contact. Okay, anyway, let's not digress too much. Let's get back to the point. This is the item in front of us, and it says Star Trek The Next Generation Collector Series, each bank individually numbered on bottom. And you can see the Klingon in the background there, and it says Klingon Savings Bank, and you've got the Klingon logo on the left hand side, and it's item number 13883, and you've got Thinkway Toys logo on the bottom right hand corner there. Okay, that's the front of the box. I just want to turn the box around to the back, and let's have a look at what we got printed on the reverse. So I've turned the box around to the back, and this is what we got on the reverse. So it shows you the 3 banks in this particular series, which you've got the Ferengi Bank, the Borg Bank, and the Klingon Bank. And it says collect them all, Star Trek Next Generation official banks. And at the very top, you've got Star Trek Next Generation, along with an image of the USS Enterprise NCC 1701D. And it says also available electronic console bank featuring the voice of Lieutenant Commander Data and real sound effects. And that's patent pending Thinkway Toys. That item is now ultra rare. I think we've got 1 left available in our stock, but that's very, very difficult to find these days. And at the very bottom, you've got the Paramount logo, the copyright information, Paramount Pictures 1994. And manufactured for Thinkway Toys, New York, 10010, made in China. And you've got the Thinkway Toys logo on the bottom right hand corner. And if I just turn the box to the side, you can see again it's got Star Trek Next Generation, and you've got a Ferengi, a Borg, and a Klingon, which is what these banks are all themed on. It says collect them all, Star Trek Next Generation official banks. And if we turn the box around to the other side, yeah, okay, so it's exactly the same on the other side as what we had on each side. So again, Star Trek Next Generation, Ferengi, Borg, and Klingon. Collect them all, Star Trek The Next Generation official banks. Okay, that's the box. I'm going to have a look at this to see if I can actually remove the bust from the box. It is still tied in, strapped in around the neck with the cable tie, but I'm just going to see if I can open it, remove it, and have a look at the bust without it staying in the box. Okay, so it was with some difficulty, but I did manage to remove the item from the box, and this is what we've got in front of us. So this is the Klingon bust in all its glory. As you can see, there's a wonderful looking Klingon there with his nice goatee beard in his head and his ribbed forehead. And he's in, I think that's ritual attire that he's wearing. You've got the neckerchief there as well, and his shoulders. If I turn it round to the back, you've got the rest of his hair in a bow at the ponytail at the back there, and you've got the slot to put your money in the top there. And I'm just going to grab a coin and I'm going to pop one in. So here's a 10p piece, and I'm just going to show you how. So there we go, it just pops in, and you can retrieve your money from the bottom. There is a lock here, and you turn it round to open it, and out comes your money. Somewhere in there is my 10p piece, which I will try and get out. I can see it, but it keeps going past the hole. There we go. So out popped my 10p piece. So that's the bung. So it just literally slots in, and you turn it to lock it, and you turn the other way to unlock it. And there is the individual number here. So this one is Klingon, and it's collector series, and this one is number 011293. Okay, so that essentially is how the box works. I mean, it's a very, very nicely detailed model. It is hard plastic, solid plastic, so you certainly couldn't, if you dropped it, you certainly wouldn't break it. It is very, very well made and very, very solid, and you can see the scale of it compared to my 10p piece there. But so that we can give you exact figures, let's measure the item. So from left to right, we're looking at a total of 21 centimeters. And if we measure from the bottom of the body to the top of the head, we're looking at 20 centimeters, and that's about 8 inches. And if we turn him to the side and we measure the widest point there, we're looking at about 12 centimeters from his chin to the back of his ponytail at the back there. Okay, and like I say, very, very well detailed, really nice looking Klingon, this one. And incidentally, the other two in the series, the Borg and the Ferengi, we do also have those available on the website, if those are the ones that you prefer rather than the Klingon. Okay, how well did these busts do back in 1994? Well, you got to remember, 1994, Star Trek was probably the biggest franchise in the world. It was absolutely massive. There was so much going on Star Trek wise. Bearing in mind we have had the original series, and all the reruns were coming on the satellite television. We'd had the animated series, which was all rerunning on the satellite TV. The Next Generation had just finished their 7th season. So they completed 7 seasons of 178 episodes. And they were about to embark on making the movie Star Trek Generations. You'd also had all the movies from the original series, from Star Trek the Motion Picture right up to Star Trek The Undiscovered Country. You'd also had Deep Space Nine, which was running. I think that started in '93, so it was running parallel with the Next Generation for a while. And not long after the Next Generation went on to do the movies, Star Trek Voyager began on the television series, which also ran for another 7 seasons. So Voyager, Deep Space Nine, and the Next Generation all ran for a total of 7 seasons. So Star Trek was a massive, massive franchise. Merchandise just couldn't come quick enough back in the 80s and the 90s. They just didn't make it fast enough for what your customers wanted. So pretty much everything that was produced flew off the shelf. And including these banks. We bought these banks into the shop when we had the shop back in the late 80s, early 90s. And pretty much as soon as the new stuff went on the shelf, it was gone the same day or the next day. And the trouble is then you've got to wait for the next batch of stock to come in. Customers always want the stuff, but then obviously as time goes on, the novelty of the new items wear down, and they slow right down. And the same thing happened with these. I mean, when they came in straight off the shelf, and then we had to wait a while for the restock. So yes, they sold very well. I don't know what the actual final numbers were on these, but they were certainly limited edition, and they were all collector series, as you can see, and they all had those individual numbers on the bottom. So let's move forward now 30 years to 2024, which is where we are now. How often do these banks come up on the platforms? Well, you do see these banks come up on the platforms semi-regular. Some more than others. The Ferengi seems to be the one that's most popular, popping up on the platforms. Maybe that's because that's the one that people just didn't like as much. Personally, my favourite is the Klingon. I think he is the best of them all. The detail on him is absolutely spot on. Although the Borg is also very, very good. I mean, the Ferengi is very good, very, very good as well. But the Klingon for me was the best of the three, and it was my particular favourite one. To be honest with you, the Klingon seems to be the rarest one that comes up on the platforms. I've seen it come up a few times over the last couple of years, but it's been when someone's been selling all three of them together rather than individually. So yes, they do come up, but not as often as you want. And also be aware that the ones that you are looking at, most of them are used. So even though they're still in the boxes, they have been removed, they have been used, and yeah, so they're not classed as new. Unlike this one, which was still sealed on the box until I removed it to shoot this video and to review this for you. But obviously it is mint condition, and again it was from a shop, a closed down shop, that it wasn't sold, and it was stuck in the back of the stock room, with, I think there were 6 altogether, with the Ferengi, the Klingon, and the Borg. So altogether, I can't remember the quantities of each ones, but there was 6, I think 6 banks altogether, and all 6 of those are currently available on the Midas Touch website. Now, yeah, you can get to the Midas Touch website very simply by clicking the link below, and it will take you straight to the website, where you will be able to find this and many, many other vintage Star Trek items, and many other vintage toys, games, and collectibles. Come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long-lost childhood memories. Well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful old Klingon savings bank with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.